Men over 60, discover how an ingredient you probably already have in your kitchen can transform your male vitality. Imagine this. That white powder we use for cooking or cleaning could be the key to improving blood flow and the firmness of your erections. For many men over 60, including several I have worked with, baking soda has made a remarkable difference in their circulation, confidence, and intimate energy. For over 10 years, I have focused on functional medicine centered on men's health. I have helped gentlemen overcome issues they prefer not to talk about: poor circulation, less firm erections, constant fatigue, and the emotional frustration that comes with it. I firmly believe that the most effective solution is not always in a pharmacy bottle. Sometimes it's already in your own kitchen. What's surprising is that baking soda goes beyond cleaning or relieving heartburn. Used properly, it can boost your body's natural systems, improving nitric oxide production, oxygenating the blood, balancing internal pH, and allowing testosterone to work more effectively. All of this is essential for maintaining strong and lasting erections after 60. In this video, you will discover 10 surprising benefits of baking soda backed by science and how it can help you regain your strength and confidence. I will also share a special morning combination that one of my patients, Mr. James, 68 years old, used with extraordinary results. If you are a man over 60 determined to regain your energy and confidence using natural and scientifically supported methods, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next tips designed for you. And if this topic interests you, comment yes. If not, comment no. Your feedback helps me create content that truly benefits you. Now, let's uncover the first benefit of baking soda for stronger erections, which starts with a chemical element in your blood, pH. Many men don't realize that as we age, the body becomes more acidic, blood vessels stiffen, and lose flexibility, affecting circulation and vitality. This directly blocks the blood flow we need to maintain firm and quick erections. This is where baking soda comes into play. Benefit number 1. It readjusts blood pH to improve circulation. I remember the case of Mr. Robert, a 70-year-old retired engineer. He came to my office showing extreme fatigue and frustration, something he hesitated to share. "I feel like I'm not the same anymore," he told me after a pause. "My mind wants, but my body doesn't seem to respond." His lab tests were normal, and his cardiovascular health was stable. When I looked closer, I noticed a subtle detail. His internal pH was too acidic. Few people talk about this, but as we age, the body struggles to maintain its acid-alkaline balance. Even a slight change can create silent physiological stress. Blood vessels constrict, stiffen, and lose flexibility, preventing blood from reaching where it's needed most. Imagine watering your garden with a kinked, blocked hose. That's how his body felt. Baking soda, as a natural alkalizer, helps restore this balance. When taken properly, for example by dissolving a small amount in water on an empty stomach, it improves circulation, relaxes the arteries, and allows oxygen and nutrients to reach the places the body needs them most. And what about Robert? He started with a simple routine: a glass of warm water with baking soda and a few drops of lemon every morning. 3 weeks later, he returned to my office with a smile and a steadier step. "It's subtle, but I feel like my body has woken up," he told me. Even his wife noticed the change. This pH readjustment may seem simple, but it is the foundation for everything else. Better circulation means more oxygen, more nutrients, and more vitality in the areas that need it most. And when the balance is restored, the effects go beyond the bedroom. But there's more. Baking soda also fights the silent inflammation that, for years, has been undermining male performance. One of the least understood enemies after 60 is not low testosterone, but this slow, persistent inflammation. I call it the silent thief. It makes no noise, is not immediately noticeable, but over time it damages blood vessels, energy, sensitivity, and ultimately erections. I remember Mr. Edward, 72, a man with a strong voice and proud demeanor, but whose eyes revealed a different story. He told me, "It's as if my body is constantly working against itself. Even when I want to be close to my wife, I don't feel like I can respond." His lab tests showed no diabetes and his cholesterol was under control, but his inflammation markers, such as C-reactive protein, were elevated. There was the key. Many men don't realize that low-grade chronic inflammation stiffens the endothelium, the inner layer of blood vessels, where nitric oxide is produced, the molecule that allows the penis to relax and fill with blood. When inflammation is present, this system gets blocked. Blood flow decreases, sensitivity drops, and the body stops responding as it once did. This is where baking soda becomes a powerful ally. Studies show it can activate anti-inflammatory pathways in the body, especially in the blood vessels and kidneys, calming the overactive immune response that attacks the body's own vessels. When inflammation decreases, the vessels dilate, nitric oxide circulates freely, and erections return naturally. Edward started a simple protocol: half a teaspoon of baking soda in water each morning and a light 15-minute walk to improve circulation. A month later, he told me he not only had more morning erections, but also felt more energetic and mentally clear throughout the day. "I feel like something inside me has been unlocked," he admitted. But the most fascinating part comes now. Although reducing inflammation is key, the body still needs the chemical signal that triggers an erection, nitric oxide. And surprisingly, baking soda also helps produce it. Benefit number 3. It promotes the natural production of nitric oxide. If you notice that things no longer work as they used to, it could be due to this molecule that your body once produced with ease. Nitric oxide is the spark that starts it all. It signals the blood vessels to open, relaxes smooth muscles, and directs blood flow to the penis at the precise moment. Without enough nitric oxide, desire may be in the mind, but the body does not respond. I remember Mr. Franklin, 67 years old, relatively healthy and active, without depression and with hormone levels within the normal range. During our conversation, Mr. Franklin told me something I will never forget. "I want to be intimate. I still have desire, but I feel like the signal doesn't reach my body. It's as if the switch is broken." This feeling happens when nitric oxide is lacking. The mind and heart want, but the blood vessels do not receive the signal. The good news is that baking soda does not contain nitric oxide, but it helps create the perfect environment for your body to produce it and maintain it for longer. When the body becomes too acidic, the enzyme that produces nitric oxide works less efficiently and the molecule breaks down faster. By alkalizing the environment, baking soda protects the vessels and reduces oxidative stress, preserving the function of this vital molecule. Studies with athletes show that those who supplemented with baking soda significantly improved their vascular performance and endurance, using oxygen more efficiently and maintaining more stable levels of nitric oxide under pressure. What works for physical performance also works for erections, as both depend on fast blood flow and vessels that respond quickly. Franklin started gradually, baking soda with water and a few drops of lemon each morning, accompanied by breathing exercises to stimulate nitric oxide release. Weeks later, he told me he was waking up with something he hadn't felt in years, and most importantly, his body was responding naturally again. But nitric oxide is only part of the picture. Once the blood arrives, it needs to deliver oxygen to the tissues efficiently. If this system fails, performance will also fail. Fortunately, baking soda helps with this as well. Benefit number 4. It improves oxygen delivery to erectile tissue. One aspect often overlooked after 60 is oxygen, not just in general, but specifically in the vessels and tissues of the penis. Without enough oxygen, even if the blood arrives, the tissues do not expand or respond properly, resulting in weak or absent erections. I remember Mr. Robert, 72 years old, a former fire chief who had always felt strong and in control. But now he said, "I feel like I'm running out of fuel down there. Everything is slower, heavier, dull." His cardiovascular tests were good, but his oxygen saturation was at the lower end of normal. And this is more common than many think. With age, and especially if there is acidity or inflammation, red blood cells do not transport oxygen as efficiently. This is known as the Bohr effect. This is where baking soda plays a subtle but crucial role. It not only reduces overall acidity, but also helps hemoglobin, the protein that carries oxygen in red blood cells, release it more efficiently to the tissues. When the blood is slightly alkaline, hemoglobin delivers oxygen exactly where it is needed. This means that more oxygen reaches the penile tissue at the moment of arousal, supporting firmer and longer-lasting erections. Mr. Roberts started a simple morning ritual: half a glass of water with half a teaspoon of baking soda before breakfast. Weeks later, he noticed more overall energy and greater sensitivity during intimacy. "It feels warmer," he said, "like everything is flowing again, just as it should." That warmth is oxygenation in action. Oxygen is not only important at the start of arousal. It also fuels the small muscles of the penis that retain blood during an erection. If these muscles are fatigued or weak, performance fails even with good initial blood flow. This brings us to benefit number 5. It boosts mitochondrial energy in the smooth muscle cells. Many men are unaware of these cells, but they're essential. They not only allow blood to enter, but also retain it to sustain the erection for the necessary time. At the core of their strength is energy. I remember Mr. Franklin, 69 years old, a retired mechanic, practical and clear-headed. During our first consultation, he lowered his gaze and confessed, "It's not just that I don't get as firm as I used to, it's like the whole system shuts down halfway. I feel like I run out of gas." I explained that the engines that generate energy inside these cells, the mitochondria, were probably functioning at low capacity. Everything began to make sense to him. Mitochondria are the power plants of your cells, converting glucose and fats into ADP, the body's energy currency. As we age, and especially if there is chronic acidity or oxidative stress, mitochondria start losing efficiency. When they fail, erections are affected too. The penis cannot retain blood because the smooth muscles lack the energy needed. This is where baking soda acts quietly but powerfully. It neutralizes the buildup of lactic acid and other metabolic waste, creating a more alkaline environment that relieves the load on the mitochondria. This allows them to generate the energy needed to maintain smooth muscle contraction and sustain the erection. Mr. Franklin, 69, began taking baking soda 3 times a week, accompanied by gentle stretching and deep morning breathing. Less than a month later, he told me, "I feel like the engine has started again. It's not perfect, but it's alive." That is the feeling when mitochondria are renewed, silent, constant, and deeply revitalizing energy. But mitochondria are not the only thing affected by internal acidity. Hormones, especially testosterone, also depend on the chemical balance of the body. Baking soda not only increases energy, but also helps your body respond better to the testosterone you already have. Benefit number 6. It improves the sensitivity of testosterone receptors. Many men tell me, "Doctor, my tests show my testosterone levels are fine, but I'm still tired, unmotivated, and in intimacy, nothing happens." And they are right. Having testosterone is only half the story. The other half is whether your body can use it effectively, which depends on the sensitivity of the hormone receptors, whether your cells recognize and respond to the signal. I remember Mr. Marcus, 64 years old, a former police officer with a strong physique and a clear mind, but eyes that reflected defeat. "My testosterone is fine, doctor, so why do I still feel off?" His levels were within the expected range, but low-grade inflammation and internal acidity had affected his hormone receptors, making them slow and insensitive. It's like trying to send a message to someone through a thick wall. The signal is sent, but it doesn't arrive clearly. This is where baking soda can surprise you. By gently reducing acidity and inflammation, it improves the cellular environment where your hormones act. It does not directly increase testosterone, but it clears the interference, allowing the receptors to work better. This way, the testosterone you already have can act effectively, improving desire, energy, and muscle function. Mr. Marcus began a simple routine: small doses of baking soda in water a few mornings per week, combined with light resistance exercises to stimulate hormone production. 6 weeks later, he came to the consultation with a smile. "My drive is coming back," he told me. Not just in the bedroom, but in every aspect. His body was finally responding to the testosterone he already had, as if a switch had been turned back on. Baking soda supports erections not only by improving blood flow, but also by optimizing the hormonal pathways that fuel desire, motivation, and strength. But even with balanced hormones, your performance depends on other key players, the vital organs, especially the liver and kidneys, which are essential for detoxification, hormone conversion, and maintaining circulation. Benefit number 7. It supports gentle detoxification of the liver and kidneys. After 60, many men lose physical, sexual, and emotional vitality due to the accumulation of toxins and metabolic waste. The liver and kidneys are responsible for cleaning this internal house. When they are overloaded, the blood becomes thicker, hormones become imbalanced, circulation decreases, and mental clarity fades. I remember Mr. Charles, 70 years old, a retired accountant with a clean diet and no history of smoking. "I feel toxic, like something inside me isn't working properly," he told me. His blood pressure was slightly elevated, sexual desire decreased, and energy low. Tests showed slightly elevated uric acid and signs of a somewhat slow liver and kidneys, enough to explain how he felt. This is where baking soda quietly comes in. It helps reduce the acidic load on the kidneys, promoting healthy urinary pH and facilitating the elimination of wastes like uric acid. For the liver, by balancing overall pH, it improves bile flow and liver function, relieving inflammation and reducing its workload. It is gentle support, not an aggressive cleanse, perfect for older men who need help without overwhelming their system. Mr. Charles started with small doses of baking soda every other day, combined with proper hydration and warm water with lemon on an empty stomach. 3 weeks later, he told me, "I feel my body lighter, like I'm not carrying so much weight anymore." His intimate life began to improve slowly but noticeably. When the organs that process hormones and filter the blood function better, everything else responds as well. Now, let's take this one step further. We have talked about blood flow and performance, but baking soda can also help you control cravings and reduce abdominal fat that steals testosterone and hinders erections. Benefit number 8. It helps reduce sugar cravings and promotes the loss of abdominal fat. After 60, many men notice that belly fat is stubborn, even with a healthy diet. Cravings for sweets or carbs appear unexpectedly, especially at night, and are harder to resist than when they were younger. I remember Mr. Julian, a former high school football coach, 66 years old. He walked into my office, patted his stomach, and said, "This belly is ruining my life. I can't get rid of it, and I feel like it's killing my desire." He had already tried cutting calories, eating more vegetables, and walking daily, but cravings, low energy, and poor sexual performance persisted. What many men don't realize is that abdominal fat is not just aesthetic, it's an active hormonal problem. Visceral fat produces aromatase, an enzyme that converts testosterone into estrogen. The more belly fat, the more testosterone is lost, affecting desire, circulation, and performance. Surprisingly, baking soda can help here too. By balancing the body's pH, it promotes more stable blood sugar levels, improving insulin sensitivity and reducing spikes that trigger intense cravings and sabotage your progress. When glucose remains balanced, the body returns more easily to fat-burning mode, especially in the abdomen. Mr. Julian adopted a simple habit, baking soda with water and lemon on an empty stomach, followed by a protein-rich breakfast and some light movement. In 4 weeks, Mr. Julian noticed clear changes. Cravings decreased, his abdomen shrank, and most importantly, his confidence returned. "I no longer feel like I've lost control," he told me. Looking in the mirror, he saw a man taking back control of his life. Less sugar, less fat, better hormones, and a new opportunity to fully enjoy life. But there is still one piece of the puzzle that most men ignore. What if difficulty in intimacy is not just physical, but also neurological? What if the nervous system sends the wrong signals at the wrong time, and baking soda could help reset it? Benefit number 9. It helps calm the nervous system. One key aspect of male performance receives little attention. It is not blood flow or testosterone, but the nervous system. If the brain and nerves are not aligned with the moment, even the healthiest body will not respond. I have seen it repeatedly, men with desire and willingness for intimacy, but the body does not cooperate. Often, the problem is neurological, not physical. I remember Mr. Raymond, 70 years old, a retired military officer. He had a firm posture and clear gaze, but his voice dropped as he explained the real reason for his visit. I still love my wife, doctor, but every time we are about to be intimate, I panic. My body freezes. It was not a hormonal or heart problem. His nervous system was stuck on high alert, in fight or flight mode. With age, accumulated stress, past traumas, chronic inflammation, or poor sleep can disrupt the balance between the sympathetic nervous system, stress, and the parasympathetic system, rest. The body remains in constant tension, and the brain cuts blood flow to organs not essential for immediate survival, such as the penis, sabotaging intimacy. Baking soda can help. By reducing acidity and inflammation, it promotes an environment that supports the parasympathetic system, encouraging rest, relaxation, and openness. It creates the calm the body needs to feel safe, connected, and receptive. Studies suggest that when the kidneys and vessels receive support from baking soda, they send fewer stress signals to the brain. Mr. Raymond began using baking soda a few times per week, combined with mindful breathing exercises I taught him. In a few weeks, the change was profound. It's like my body finally feels safe to reconnect, Mr. Raymond told me. For him, this changed everything, not just physically, but emotionally as well. When the body feels calm, everything else activates. You connect more deeply, respond naturally, and regain the essential rhythm for performance. But what if we could take everything we've discussed, blood flow, hormones, oxygen, energy, calm, to the next level by combining baking soda with one more natural ingredient? That brings us to the final benefit, and believe me, you'll want to hear this. Benefit number 10, it combines powerfully with lemon or apple cider vinegar. After everything we've covered, blood flow, oxygen, nitric oxide, energy, hormonal sensitivity, nervous system, I want to share one last piece. It's a natural synergy that has surprised men over 60, and you probably already have it in your kitchen: lemon juice or apple cider vinegar. Individually, both are excellent, rich in antioxidants. They support digestion and regulate blood sugar. But combined with baking soda, something special happens. The fizzy reaction is not just visual. When consumed, it creates sodium citrate, a compound that regulates the body's pH. This mixture can stimulate bile flow, reduce systemic acidity, and support the liver and vascular tone. In addition, it allows baking soda to work more effectively, reaching the right tissues without overloading the body. I remember Mr. Benjamin, 74 years old, a widower. He was considering becoming intimate again, but felt rusted from the inside. We had already worked on the basics: exercise, diet, circulation. But something was still missing. I suggested a simple morning ritual: a glass of warm water, a splash of lemon or a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, and a quarter teaspoon of baking soda, sipped slowly on an empty stomach. A month later, he came to the consultation smiling from ear to ear. I didn't expect much, doctor, but I wake up feeling more alive. My stomach feels lighter, my mind clearer, and I'm responding again, if you know what I mean. This combination doesn't force anything. It supports the entire system: intestines, blood vessels, nerves, hormones. It restores the body's natural balance so it functions as it was designed. The key point is that real, lasting changes don't come from a magic pill, but from restoring balance and giving the body the tools to heal and respond naturally. Baking soda, especially combined with the right ingredients, is one of those tools. Now that you know the 10 benefits, you may be wondering, how can I use baking soda safely, consistently, and adapted to my daily routine? That is exactly what I will explain in the final part of this video, closing with a flourish and showing you step by step how to get started. If you've made it this far, I want to thank you. Not just for listening, but for genuinely caring about your health, your future, and your masculinity. This is all about curiosity, resilience, and regaining control over your body, even after 60. Your journey continues with every decision you make from today, and I'm here to help you every step of the way. Today, we've traveled a long road, exploring 10 powerful ways that something as simple and underestimated as baking soda can help you achieve stronger, healthier erections, without medication, without side effects, and without shame. First, we explained how baking soda balances your blood pH, creating the ideal environment for effective circulation and optimal vascular response, the foundation of everything. Then, we saw how it reduces inflammation in the blood vessels, removing a silent and dangerous obstacle to male performance. Next, we discovered how it supports the natural production of nitric oxide, the essential chemical signal that tells blood vessels to open at the start of arousal. But even with nitric oxide, your body needs oxygen. We learned how baking soda improves the delivery of oxygen from red blood cells to the tissues that need it most. Then we went deeper at the cellular level, discussing the smooth muscle cells of the penis and how baking soda helps them generate more mitochondrial energy to effectively retain and maintain blood. We also saw how it improves the sensitivity of testosterone receptors, helping your body respond better to the hormones you already have. We went beyond hormones, exploring how baking soda supports the detoxification of the liver and kidneys, organs that quietly sustain all the body systems, including sexual function. And we touched on an issue many men face in silence: persistent abdominal fat. We saw how balanced pH helps reduce sugar cravings and directs metabolism properly. Finally, we explored the nervous system, a deeply personal and emotional layer of health that can block performance. We discovered how baking soda, by calming internal inflammation, allows the body to relax and reconnect naturally. And finally, we brought everything together with a simple and powerful combination: baking soda with lemon juice or apple cider vinegar. A morning ritual that has awakened the vitality of many men. I want to speak to you directly, not just as a doctor, but as someone who has listened to men in their most vulnerable moments. If you have been struggling, feeling frustrated, ashamed, or even hopeless, I want you to know something. There is hope. You are not broken. Your body just needs support, time, and small changes to regain its natural balance. Baking soda is not an instant solution, but used wisely, it can be a powerful starting point. A small nudge in the right direction to give your body the environment it needs to heal and respond again. Combine it with good rest, deep breathing, gentle movement, and, above all, trust in your body's incredible ability to recover. Because even after 60, you can still feel strength, passion, and deep connection. You deserve it, and it's never too late to start. If you found this content helpful, I invite you to talk to your doctor, try it cautiously, and observe how your body responds. And as always, I'll be here to bring you real, honest advice for living stronger, longer, and more fully. If this video gave you a new perspective, hope, or simply made you feel understood, give it a like. Not just for me, but so more men can access this information. The more support this receives, the more men struggling in silence can benefit. Every gesture keeps this mission alive. You matter. Your health matters. It is an honor for me to accompany you on this journey. Thank you for watching. Stay strong, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.